This is the Faith Minute. Well, when we talk about Nehemiah, and we know Nehemiah has been building this wall and he's come against all kinds of challenges with these two men and the cities around, we understand that he is a human being, and we understand that there are challenges that can sometimes derail you, make you think that you can't accomplish things. And maybe it has happened to you. But again, in Nehemiah chapter 4, reading out of the CEV, the Contemporary English Version, the verse that we're looking at is verse 10. It says, "Meanwhile, the people of Judah were singing sorrowful songs." So now they are in mourning. You know, Nehemiah has come and given them the vision. We're going to do this. This is going to happen. God is with us. And they are mourning. Listen to what they're singing. They're singing, "So much rubble for us to haul, so much rubbish for us to haul. Worn out and weary, will we ever finish this wall?" No, they're even rhyming. And then they go on in verse 11 to say, "Our enemies were saying, before those Jews know what has happened, we will sneak up and kill them and put an end to their work." So the enemy is not losing any time in trying to discourage them. The enemy is not losing any time in trying to really make their task more difficult, than it really ought to be. When you feel discouraged in the work that God has given you, what do? Do you give up? Or are you going to really look at things like Nehemiah looked at things? In chapter 4 again, in the 14th verse, it says, "Then I looked," this is Nehemiah speaking, "then I looked things over and told the leaders, the officials, and the rest of the people, 'Don't be afraid of your enemies. The Lord is great and fearsome.'" Did you hear that? When they are mourning and complaining that the work is hard and the work is difficult, and guess what? After we do all of this, they're going to kill us anyway. Nehemiah comes on the scene and he says, "The Lord is great and fearsome. Don't be afraid of your natural enemies." So think of him and fight for your relatives and children, your wives and your homes. He's telling his people, come on now, you got to think of the fearsome, the awesome God, the great God you serve. And then as you think of him, fight for your relatives, fight for your children, fight for your wives, and fight for your homes. Come on, is he telling you and I to do that right now? Verse 15 says, "Our enemies found out that we knew about their plot against us, but God kept them from doing what they had planned, so we went back to work on the wall." You see, my friends, whatever it is that God has given you to do, the enemy can't stop you. You can stop it. You can persuade yourself. You can actually convince yourself that what is a task for you to do, and God says, "I know the plans I have for you." Plans for what? For you to be victorious. You know that, and you know what the word says, you know what God says, but nevertheless, you have a distinct opportunity and sometimes privilege of saying, "No, I can't do it." But like Nehemiah says, the Lord is great and fearsome. Don't be afraid of your enemies. Think of him, the great and fearsome God. And then you fight for your relatives, and then you fight for your children, and then you fight for your homes, and then you fight for your wives. My God, what an awesome God we serve. And what a powerful man this Nehemiah was. And what a powerful example to us of what we ought to be. God bless you. This is the Faith Minute